Something I hear a lot from addicts in general is this justification for one last one, right? They're getting ready to quit something and they just want to do one last hurrah, one last shot, one last puff, one last whatever the substance is, right? And it doesn't even need to be a substance. It could be a behavior of any kind. It might be porn, right? One last time. And they'll think to themselves, what's one more, right? What's one last one? And I want to challenge that for just a minute here, because one last one, there are so many ways we could dissect that, and there are so many implications to it. But what happens when we go with one last one? When we grant ourselves that one more? Well, it says that this is worth having another one. This was good enough that we want to have another one. It's telling our mind that this was something that was worth doing. And that kind of glorifies the behavior in its own way, doesn't it? That kind of makes it so that that last one feels that much more satisfying. And when that one feels that satisfying, when something's satisfying, it's hard to stop. So we think about that. One last one. Well, there's something interesting to consider about one last one. You never know how many more it's going to take before that takes you out. Especially with substances. Let's talk about that. We might think, we haven't gone into the stages of cirrhosis yet. We don't have emphysema yet. Haven't had to go to the hospital for any kind of major issue resulting from this addiction. So what's the harm of one more? Well, do we know that one more won't be the one that pushes us over the edge? You don't know how many it's going to take. It may just be that one more. All these people who have lung cancer that are wishing they had just stopped sooner. What if it was just one more cigarette that pushed them over the edge into the realm of cancer? These people who have alcohol poisoning or who have cirrhosis of the liver, what if it was just one more drink that caused that over the edge? And so I want to ask you a question. I want to ask, with that one more mentality, what is the best case scenario for that? What is the best case scenario result of having just one more? And then on the flip side, what is the worst case scenario? And is it worth gambling that worst case scenario for the result of the best case scenario? Something tells me it's probably not. And for those who believe it is worth it, it's likely that they've already decided that they don't mind if that one more takes them out. And I hope that that's none of you watching today. But we likely know somebody who's already there. And that's a different game. But just one more is not a harmless scenario. Just one more is a justification for playing Russian roulette. I just want to leave that with you today.